Jerry, my name is Tammy. I'm giving this testimony from the United Kingdom. I'm here to testify of the goodness of God in my life. What God cannot do does not exist. I have been married for the past 8 years, believing God for the fruit of the womb and trusting that the Lord will remember me one day. I have had series of diagnoses, gone through series of treatments, you name it. I've been diagnosed with fibroid, diagnosed with endometriosis, ovarian cyst, adhesion. I've gone through all. My mom introduced me to Nsppd in 2020. Prior to this time, I've had 2 failed IVFs. I decided to go for another trial for the 3rd IVF in 2020. So when I went for this IVF consultation, I was told that I have blocked fallopian tube with hydrosalpinx. So it was very devastating news to me. So I was advised to go for a surgery to tackle everything out, because if those things are not sorted out, I won't be able to do the IVF. I was given a date, 5th of December, to come back for my fallopian tubes to be removed. A few weeks before 5th of December, the government announced and we were put on lockdown. I couldn't do my surgery anymore. Surgery was cancelled till further notice. That would have been my fallopian tubes taken out completely, because both fallopian tubes were blocked, so it needed to be removed surgically. It wasn't easy. At some point, I gave up. I told God I was tired. I wasn't going to pray anymore. I wasn't going to do anything anymore. I stopped attending prayers. I stopped reading Bibles. I stopped doing anything. I just gave up hope. But later on, my mom encouraged me, my husband encouraged me, and I came back to the altar. So fast forward to 2022. A friend of mine introduced me to a doctor in Nigeria who was good in IVF. So I thought of it. I said, okay, it wouldn't be a bad idea to try again. So I said, okay, let me go. I went, I met with the doctors, and we had a consultation and a plan. 2 weeks or a week before the main treatment was supposed to start, I went back to the doctors. I was told that I will have to wait until my next cycle starts before we can start treatments. Pastor Jerry, I waited 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, nothing started. I went back to the doctors again. I'm like, what's going on? I've been waiting and waiting, and this cycle is not starting. The doctor said I should go back and wait further, that it will take some time. Let's give it a couple of days. I went back, waited 1 week. I was becoming anxious. I'm like, what's going on? This period should have started so that we will start the treatment and everything, but nothing seems to be happening. No change. Nothing is happening. So I talked to one of my friends, and she was like, why don't I just go and do a pregnancy test? And I said no. I wasn't going to do any pregnancy test. I would just have to wait. To cut the long story short, Pastor Jerry, after that day, my friend took me to the hospital. I went and I did a blood test, and I was confirmed pregnant. Pastor Jerry, I have never tested positive for the past 8 years in my life. I have never tested positive to pregnancy. I could not believe I could not believe it, but as God would have it, He did it. He did it without IVF, even without me knowing. Even way back while I was still in the UK, I was pregnant. I traveled down to Nigeria pregnant, and I did not know. Pastor Jerry, what God cannot do does not exist. Pastor Jerry, I'm here to present my evidence to you. Pastor Jerry, this is my evidence. This is my evidence. This is my testimony. I have come to glorify God. I have come to give God all the glory for all He have done, for removing reproach for making me a mother, for answering all my prayers, the ones I have cried in the night, the ones I can't even remember, but God has taken it all away. What God cannot do does not exist. Thank you, Pastor Jerry. Thank you, Pastor Eno. Thank you, Pastor Oguru, Pastor Okay. I want to thank all the Nsppd crew and everyone on this platform. Thank you. What God cannot do does not exist. What God cannot do does not exist. Thank you.